5 years, 3 general elections. The United Kingdom goes to polls again. Political uncertainty caused by Brexit continues to haunt the nation. The UK Parliament decided to hold fresh polls in October. This after PM Boris Johnson, a Conservative Party leader, realised that going through with the Brexit without a majority in the Parliament would be a difficult proposition. His predecessor Theresa May had played a similar gamble, but ended up in a worse position. If he wins, Johnson has promised Brexit by the end of January 2020. UK had voted in 2016 to exit the European Union.
We are a party that is going to get Brexit done by when? By January the 31st, and we've got a deal that's ready to go. It's an absolutely fantastic deal, isn't it? It's all ready to go. How many members of the Conservative Party standing at this election support our deal? Every single one. 600. How many members of the Labour Party, so Labour candidates, support Jeremy Corbyn's deal? None. Impossible to calculate. Nobody knows. Not even he supports it. It's the most ludicrous situation. And so not only would he wreck our economy, we would have a year more, 2 years more of drift, dither and delay. And we get our deal done. Don't forget, it's an oven-ready deal. Slam it in. Get Brexit done. Yes, that's right.
Johnson's challenger Jeremy Corbyn has promised a revised divorce deal with the EU. The Labour Party leader has also said that another referendum on the new deal versus the option to stay in the bloc would be held. The Socialist leader has also promised nationalisation of railways, water and energy companies, along with higher taxes for the rich.
You want a government that actually values everybody in our society and doesn't pass by on the other side. And so we build on the great traditions of our movement. The movement that fought for the right to vote, that fought for a national insurance system, that fought for education, for council housing, for the right of women to vote, that to end racism and discrimination within our society. A movement that has achieved so much, and I think our crowning achievement has been the National Health Service. But let's build on that. And so when you're working, knocking on doors in the rain, yes, it's raining again, I'm sure, but over the next few days, remember what you're doing it for. You're doing it for the next generation. You're doing it to change the course of political history in Britain.
The other contenders include the Liberal Democrats, a party which has promised to reverse Brexit.
Doing this for the future, for our country's future, because we are better as a country than the tired, old, broken vision that comes from Boris Johnson or Jeremy Corbyn. They would have us pull up the drawbridge, be insular, be closed as a society. But we know that Britain is better than that. We know that we can be an open, fair, liberal and inclusive society. That is the future that we are fighting for, where we work with our closest friends and neighbours as a united kingdom family of nations, working within the European Union to tackle the climate emergency so that we don't pass on to our children a poisoned planet, but we give them a strong and bright future. We can tackle the mental health crisis. We can support families who are struggling. We can invest in our schools because the future can be brighter.
And then there's the Scottish National Party, which could play kingmaker in the event of a hung parliament.
My message to people in Scotland is that independence is the best future because it gives us the opportunity to decide for ourselves the kind of country we want to be. But whether you support independence or oppose it or aren't decided yet, the principle of deciding our future ourselves in Scotland rather than having Boris Johnson dictate it is one that I think we can all unite behind.
A party needs at least 326 seats in the 650-member House of Commons to form the government. In case the parties fall short, they may form a coalition. The elections are being keenly watched in many quarters across the world. The form of Brexit, if it takes place, will have global ramifications. It remains to be seen whether this election will be able to dispel the uncertainty gripping the UK ever since the historic Brexit vote.